love letters thing is important. I think for a start, the brain works differently when you're texting. I think that first of all, writing a love letter the old-fashioned way with a pen and paper, you have to think about it. I think part of the problem with text is that people use a part of the brain that is very quick, and it's just top line. There's nothing deep about it.
Yeah.
I have to say that it doesn't have to be that way. You can compose a text very, very carefully, but I get people to get out the pen and paper because I think it helps them to go into that mode of thinking and of connecting with their deeper emotions and thinking about what they want to say, and really composing it very carefully. So I think it actually gives people a way of connecting with the romance. I think that writing a handwritten love letter is a very good way of facilitating romance and that depth.
I mean, it depends what you mean by old-fashioned. Letters, I've never really been much for letters, only because, not to add the word, but I'm a millennial. I mean, it's all about speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
And also, I'm far too busy for that at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of old-fashioned, traditional, just me and so on, I mean, yeah, I still do. I prefer that. But then I'm a extrovert, I guess I am. I like chatting. I've got no problem talking to anyone pretty much about anything. So it's my personality.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Well, because we've not really been involved in it, we find it difficult to understand why everybody has to be always talking.
On the phone.
We walk along the road, and you're walking along the road, and suddenly behind somebody says something out loud, and you think, "What? What? Wait, are they talking to me?"
No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
But I think it's a bit unsafe in some ways that you just meet via a computer. And because you haven't seen them, you haven't spoken to them, you don't know anything about them. Well, as is being proved, sometimes they're criminally inclined, aren't they?
Well,
so I suppose, yes, you could say, if they say come home and I'll take you home in my car, because mind you, not there was many cars, you could get molested in the car on the way home. But it didn't happen very often because not many people had cars.
I think it can do, but I think that I think the massive opportunity, and it's an opportunity now, is for increased clarity and for couples to actually talk to each other more and define the relationship more clearly and define their own boundaries more clearly. I mean, frankly, that's something that people should be doing anyway. And I think that historically, one of the reasons that problems arise in relationships is that people haven't explicitly stated, look, this is what, let's talk about this and make an agreement about, where our boundaries are. Yeah. So I think that's actually the great opportunity, and that's what people will need to do. Otherwise, yes, it can, fluidity is one thing, but messiness is another, and I think it can very easily become messy.
I think that it's still very important for people to get together, to be, whatever the way of dealing with it, it's probably the same. Boys and girls are boys and girls still. The genders are still the same. No, definitely not, because you can't live in the past.
No,
I think. Sorry. Would you agree?
Yes.
You can't live in the past. You've got to move forward. You've got to embrace these things. Because we don't embrace it. I mean, there's a lot of older people and people of my age who do embrace the internet and have smartphones and are able to deal with them and work them. I just choose not to.